This is a little addendum to the class from today. So just from going through the meetings with everybody, what I wanted to mention, just so everybody knows when we're all on the same page, what the common situation is now with these things is, although you've gone ahead and done the your idea and the way that you think you're going to approach it. That's fantastic, and I think everybody's done lots of good work. I want you to take a step back though and make sure that before you go down the road where you're starting to build UI, that you spend some time doing the UX storyboard. And I went through this with pretty much everybody, but I'm just in case you weren't in a meeting or missed this part or whatever. The idea now is you have your concept for whatever the content is going to be, the product, the service, the app. You have some sort of an idea of how it's going to go. You need to now address what the UX storyboard is going to be. And a UX storyboard, we've talked about it in the class, is the idea of either of the interaction between the system and the user. Now, many of your ideas will have another part as well. You'll have like let's say it's a user, an app, and a car that's being controlled, or a user, an app, and a dog. So there'll be, sometimes there's other parts, but no matter what, the UX storyboard is about the interaction. Whether the interaction is initiated by the system in the way it would be sending an alert, for instance, or the interaction is initiated by the user in the user requesting something, or either information or whatever. So that's the next step. Look at your interactions, define what your interactions are going to be, and that's what creates the UX storyboard. So your UX storyboard will be a list of interactions, and so initiated by whatever, causing whatever response from the system, or initiated by the system causing response from the user. Those list of interactions become the core of your overall, what you're going to put out in the end, what you're going to build in the end. And they also determine how you're going to build your UI, because your UI has to take into account context. So as an example, if your car is sending you an alert that it is due for an oil change, that's one context. That could be a yellow alert, or it could be just a text message. If your car is sending you an alert that you're going to go off a cliff, that's an entirely different context. So the UI would be different. So you need to establish what your UX storyboard is going to be. Everybody in the team, both of you on the team, need to understand that, and then together you come up with what your UI, your user interface, is going to be as a result of that. Because your UI is going to reflect the context in which that user experience is happening. Okay, so the next time that I see you next week, what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for some examples of UI that are contextually appropriate to the UX storyboard that you have. Your UX storyboard does not have to be complex, but it does have to outline specific situations, specific actions and responses, and the environment in which they're happening, so that we can evaluate the UI. Okay?